You're just funny. It's funny, the way you tell the story and everything.
Funny how?
Come here, though. Yeah, he's crazy, see? Who are you?
We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
Are you ready?
Oh, hey there, friends. What is going on? Holy hell. Being a new father, it's not as easy as you think. We kind of knew that, right? But yeah, it's been kind of crazy the business is going great, but it's been crazy to put out episodes. So I appreciate you guys holding out. I'm only doing like a couple a month as opposed I used to, do one every week. So we'll get there. We'll get there. I just want to make sure I'm helping out the wife as much as I can. You know what I mean? Happy wife, happy life. But listen, today I thought it would be interesting to kind of stay with the same theme of fatherhood as we have just these last couple episodes. This won't be an everyday thing, but I think it's important to talk a little bit more about the mental health side of things and what parents and fathers are going through. So I thought it might be kind of fun to like just randomly call a couple of my buddies that have kids. And I don't know if they're going to answer. I don't know. I mean, I got a list of a couple folks here. So we'll see. I mean, it's after 5 p.m. on a weekday. Again, if they're anything like me, they're probably getting yelled at, by the wife for not helping right now. So I just kind of thought this would be fun. John Constantino, let's see.
Hello?
Johnny boy.
What's going on?
What are you doing, bud?
Nothing much, man. What are you doing?
So listen, I won't actually put this out unless you're okay with it, but you're on the podcast. Yeah. Hey.
Oh, I'm on the podcast right now?
Yes. You're not live or anything,
Oh.
but I'm doing this thing. I won't post this if you don't want, but I'm doing this thing where I'm just calling like 5 or 6 of my buddies that have kids just to like shoot the shit for a couple of minutes and see, what it's like being a dad.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I'm down whenever.
You got a few minutes?
Right now?
Yeah.
How are you, man?
How's everything else, buddy?
Everything else pretty good.
Yeah?
It's
What's it like having 2 of these fucking things?
a whole nother ball game, I'll tell you that.
Oh,
It's a whole nother ball game. Yeah, 1 to 2 kind of really tests your patience.
Oh, I bet. I couldn't imagine.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of rad to have, boy and girl, though. No?
Yeah, no, I like it. But, I kind of I wanted 3, but
The fuck?
now, I kind of wanted 3. She's like, now since she's got the girl, she's pretty much done with you. She's the one that really kind of makes that call. So,
Yeah. Well,
but
I mean,
I'm happy with 2 healthy kids. So.
yeah, exactly. I mean, even after everything, you guys have been going through this whole time, I mean, you're down. Like if she was down with 3, you'd be cool with it?
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah, I would do a
kudos.
3.
Kudos, bro.
Sure. I mean, it's hard. Don't get me wrong, but everything's hard, but what kind of hard do you want? So like it's changed me, 180 degrees having kids, a whole different perspective on the world. And it's just like, it's kind of being, get to relive another life, it's I'm sure like, you're a new dad now. So
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. I feel that for sure. Yeah. Cause I think it's even more interesting when like, I don't know exactly if this was the moment, but I feel like it was when we're going into it. Tell me if this is what happened to you. So we're in the hospital, obviously, 'cause, she's been pregnant 9 months. We're doing this whole thing. It's been stressful. It's been crazy. I kind of felt a little bit like a dad when she was kicking in the stomach, but then it was like, it still didn't feel real. Right. And
no,
then
go ahead.
the moment that it happened, I saw her come out. I watched the whole thing and I helped and everything, which was unbelievable. But then when they brought her over to the warmer to do her shots and everything, and she for a split second stopped crying when she saw me and and squeezed my finger, that was it for me. Like I bawled like a little baby. I was like, this is it. Like it didn't feel, even watching it happen, it almost didn't feel real. And then once I touched her, it was just like, I was just a baby. When was it for you that you felt with number 1? Because obviously number 2, you knew what was going on.
Yeah, so kind of like a similar experience in the hospital. I definitely shed a few tears, but ultimately, and I don't know if other people can relate, but I didn't feel I felt like a dad. I was, I'm a father. I know all this. You love the kid to death, but
Yeah.
in your family, and you recognize all of that. But it really didn't hit me 100% until, because like the mom's obviously gonna have more
Different
of a connection
experience.
with the baby,
Yeah.
or I feel like a little more of a connection with the baby. They've held them in their tummy for 9 months.
Mm-hmm.
They know like kind of what they're feeling. There's like all these crazy stuff between moms and babies. So they build this ultimate connection. You really just did like a quick part of the work, in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It took me like 3 hours. No, I'm kidding. But yeah.
Yeah.
But a quick, ultimately, like you hadn't have that much time to build a connection. They already know their moods. They know a lot of things just from it being in their belly for 9 months. So for me, it was really when he started reacting to me personally, like actually acknowledging who I was, smiling. He like you could tell that he recognized I was his father, like 100%.
Yeah. The smile is,
And I feel like
the smile's special, dude. The
yeah.
smile's special.
Oh, the smell?
No, well that too, but the smile, like that first.
The smile, yeah.
Bro, that first smile, like she's really doing that now, like every morning. Like, when you unswaddle her, they do the little stretch, and then I go, "Good morning, beautiful," and she just does this cheese, dude. Like, it's unlike anything else. Like, I was always, and I think we've even had this conversation, like pre, even getting married. When we're just hanging out, you, me, Garrity, and the boys, and we're just like shooting the shit, and we're looking around, and we're looking at all these girls, and we're fucking throwing them back and doing shots. And then we're like, I don't know how anybody would settle down and not do this.
Yeah.
Like, how are you not out drinking, partying every night? This is the greatest thing. And then I look back at those days, and of course, that was fun, right? But I look at this now, and I'm like, I don't know why it took me so long to realize how great this is.
Yeah. I was just about to say that. It feels like you kind of wasted some time, right? Like in a sense,
Yeah, dude. It's gnarly.
And me and Stephanie say that. We're like, oh, I wish we would have done it sooner,
I know.
like at this point, like just because, hopefully everybody gets a chance to kind of, I think everybody should live like a life, like at some point of like being able to be free, enjoy yourself to the fullest, and not like get that out of the way. I think that's very important, because then when the next chapter begins, you have nothing to look back behind you and be like, well, I never got to do this. I never got to do that,
For sure.
And you feel like when you become a dad and you become a family man, like you're just like so ready for the next part of your life, like the transition is so much easier knowing that you look back and you're like, hey, I partied. Yeah, I did this. Yeah, probably should have done a lot of things I did, but ultimately, I think it happened for a reason. I'm so ready for this next part. And that's kind of the transition for me has been ultimately awesome. Obviously there's always things you can work on, but I've loved this part of my life. It's been one of my favorite parts so far,
Yeah, man. We're just getting started too. I mean, that's the cool thing with like the generation that we're in, like back like when our parents, for whatever reason, they would only live to 60, 70, 80. I mean, sometimes you get grandparents that are a little bit older, but back then it was like you retire at 60 because you could barely walk. And then you go, you check receipts at Walmart, and then you die at 80. Like that was but now we're in a very cool situation to where I feel like I'm 20, even though there's a lot of stuff that, like inflation and bullshit that we're dealing with in our generation. But like in terms of quality of life and the ability to work from home and, even though we may spend a little bit more money, things are kind of easier now. You know what I mean? To where I think we were a little less stressed in some instances. Of course, we're more stressed in other instances, but for the most part, I feel like we could stay at home and we can have a good time and enjoy ourselves without spending a lot of money versus I feel like all our parents did was work back then. They didn't really do
and
it,
I think,
you know what I mean?
No, 100%. And I think, our generation, we saw our parents and we kind of were like, all right, yeah, I love the way I was raised, but I can do this differently, or I want to be there more for this part of it, or, and it's more accepted now. And I think it's because our generation is pushing that. Yeah. Just because what we experienced growing up,
quality of life and, the
time that wasn't like a thing. It wasn't like a thing back then, it was really just work for the most part,
Yeah.
And now it's kind of like you realize that it's like, I've realized balance is the most important thing to me. Being with my family as much as I can has been the most important thing to me so far, you know, having kids. It's really changed. I used to be, you know, that person that's like, all right, I'll outwork everybody. I'll work anything I got to do. I'll work until I get to where I want to be.
That's right.
And then after having a family, it's kind of been like, you know what, what's the most important thing to me now? And now it's, you know, 100% family.
Yeah,
I'll still work.
You were a work
But
slut for a long time.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
man. Oh yeah, I used to
Yeah.
kill
Well, I
it, no problem, and
Yeah.
and was proud of it, you know.
Yeah, I mean, so was I. And, you know, Garrity still has to, I think, cross that bridge at some point, but I'm going to call him after this, actually. But that's the one thing with me is like when I realized when I left Monster, that was it, dude. That's, you know, that was it. I'm like, I'm working too much. I'm, you know, working my ass off. Then what does this company give me? It gives me nothing, you know? And I think a lot of people could relate with that where corporate America, there's so many pros, but also too, it's like, you know, a lot of stuff is out of your control. So you could be working all these moments. And I know my dad, if you ask him today, even though he's kind of cocky, so he probably won't say this, but I'd be like, hey, Pops, you worked so much. Do you regret any moments that you didn't spend with me or the family? And of course, he'd be like, no, because I worked and we had what we had because of our work. And all that's true.
Yeah.
But I think if, you know, if things were how it is now back then, I think a lot of our parents would be happy and maybe they'd be in a different situation because it is way different. Like I'm noticing just even my marriage is, you know, it's flourishing because I'm able to spend every single second with my wife, you know?
Yeah.
And who knows? I mean, we might be divorced in 10 years. So I'm trying to soak this up, you know, you just.
Yeah, you never do know.
Yeah. You know, hopefully I'll cut that part out. But yeah, dude, it's, I'm glad everything's great and Stephanie's healthy and, you know, everyone's positive. Work is going good. All that's good.
Yeah, man, work's going good. Just because you know, the balance is great right now with my be able to be with my family, and it's just I don't know. I mean, things are going really well right now. Like you know,
It's great.
Things I'm always trying to be better every day at something. So, but yeah, man, I'm stoked right now for this next part of life. It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's cool,
So
man.
fun.
Even like working for yourself, like that's one thing that I don't regret at all, even though it's been a struggle for me these last like 2 years. But like today, I took the wife and Cammy to the aquarium. So it was her first time going to the aquarium. And, you know, we did it at fucking 10 a.m. And we just got back a couple hours ago. And I just, you know, I'm going to have to work a little bit harder tomorrow, wake up early, whatever. But, you know, I wouldn't be able to do that at a regular job, you know. And
No.
And those moments that, you know, that first time, I could imagine how many moments like my father, and again, I'm not picking on him, but I'm just using it as an example. Like how many times was there a first that he might have missed? Or maybe my mother, maybe she missed it. I don't know. But how many firsts did they miss? You know, I'm not going to fucking miss a first. I don't give a shit. You know, if that means I don't have to, you know, I'm not going to buy the new iPhone this year. Oops. Okay. I'll live. You know, but that's my mindset has changed. I'm sure we've talked about this before, but it's interesting how you forget about those materialistic things when these kids are born because everything goes ahead of it. You know, everything.
Yeah, no, it does flip. It's the craziest thing, and you can't really describe it until you have kids.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, it's an undescribable love that, you know, like you will never feel, I think, unless you have kids. Obviously, you love your spouse to the fullest, but it's a different kind of love with your kids. It really is, and I'm sure most parents can, you know, agree with that. It's something. It's the greatest thing, you know, you can experience is, I feel like, having kids. I feel like everyone should do it, but I know not everybody's circumstances are the same, and not everybody's blessed to have kids because it is a blessing at the end of the day.
It is for sure. And, you know, that love is very different. Like I even joked around with Brenda the other day. I forget what it was, but I just randomly said it because Camila did something so cute. And I just looked at her and I go, babe, you know I love you so much. And she goes, aw, thanks. What made you? That was random. And she got a little misty. And I go, I love you so much, but we made this beautiful baby. But I will say, Brenda, that I love her so much more than you that if I needed to protect her against a predator, I would take your body and beat that predator to death with your body if it meant protecting my daughter. And she just started laughing. And I go, but that's kind of like what the love is. It's weird. Like it's a different, especially for the men, I feel like, not so much the women, but at least for me, like I would do anything for her. And, you know, at one point I think I would do that probably for Brenda as well. But it's like, I don't know, it's probably because they're so tiny and vulnerable. So we have this protective, instinctual mentality around it. But it's fascinating.
Yeah, it is. And it's interesting to see how the love either, you know, grows like as they get older. I mean, I've only experienced like I'm in the toddler stage. My son's about to be 3, you know, my daughter's about 3 months.
Yeah.
So it's just so far, it's just every stage. And for you, advice, you know, every stage is going to be different. And when people say like some things are harder than the other,
yeah,
it's just a different type of hard as what I've experienced, you know.
it always
newborn
changes,
stage
yeah.
was hard. It changes, but the new hard comes with it. But they're all very, very special and enjoyable so far. It's crazy how fast they develop. Like when you see your baby starting to produce these sentences,
I can't wait.
It just blows my mind. It blows my mind sometimes how smart, especially Connor, because he's almost 3, how smart he is already. It really does blow my mind.
Yeah, it's crazy. What was his first word? I don't know.
It was lights.
It was lights. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I bet it was like
lights.
the craziest thing to hear that, right? His first, because
Yeah,
they start.
the way you would say
they
it.
they kind of mimic, and you know they do like meh, like if you say dad, they'll say meh meh. So like they try right at first, but then to hear it come out, was it a shock? Like was it like whoa? Like how'd it go?
It comes so slow with the words at first, you know.
Yeah.
And you can see them. You can like hear them. You can hear what they're trying to say, but it starts to slowly clear up. It's not just like one day, it's a clear word. It's like very slow.
Right.
But what comes fast is when they start putting sentences together, which hits you at a left field.
Whoa.
Or like their memory, you know. It's just like all of a sudden, like he's just like speaking in sentences, and I'm like, what the heck happened? And you don't notice it until you start talking to him, and he talks to you back in like a pretty much a full sentence, you know, and understanding and like everything you said, and just like has a good response in a sentence. He just really comes out of nowhere. At least for our son, it just kind of came out of nowhere, and I was like, I can't believe that. And he remembers everything. So if I tell him, hey, you know, we're going to go to SeaWorld on Saturday, he won't forget it at all.
It's like
or if
Saturday
you slowly mention, hey, yeah. You know, you try to brush something off sometimes. He's like, oh, I want to go. He loves Target, you know.
Oh,
so he'll be like, I want to go to Target. And, you know, you just randomly kind of brush up. All right, yeah, we'll go, you know, tomorrow.
That's so
and you'll pick him up from school and he'll be like, are we going to Target now? You know, like,
they remember.
And you were like cooking dinner, doing a million things, and you're kind of just like, yeah, we'll go to Target tomorrow, but I promise. Or not even say I promise, but we'll go to Target tomorrow. Just a quick, yeah, we'll go tomorrow. And then he just remembers, and you got to take him at that point.
That's so funny.
Can't follow through. But yeah, they remember everything too. It's crazy.
I can't wait, dude. Cool, man. Well, listen, dude, I'll let you go, man. This was fun. You know, hopefully we could do this shit face to face, and I could meet up with you guys again. Obviously, as you know, it's just been crazy. But I'm actually going to Orlando. I'm doing a job next week. So if I have the time, I'm definitely going to try to meet up with you guys. All right, brother.
Thanks, brother.
Let's see if we got my buddy Shane Garrity. Squirrel Daddy.
What's up, buddy?
Hey, buddy. So,
how you doing?
I'm good, man. Disclaimer. You're on the podcast. We're not live, but you're on the show. Hello.
Sound effects and all, man. That's awesome, buddy. You're really advancing this whole thing. And it's like the real deal.
Yeah. What else do you got to do when you don't have a job? You have plenty of time to get toys. No, I wanted to call, and I won't post this if you want me to, but first of all, hi, I miss you. Hello. Second of all, I'm calling a bunch of dads. I called Constantino, and we shot the shit for a bit. But I thought it would be cool because I haven't posted an episode in a couple of weeks, but I thought it would be cool to just get some insights from like the dad perspective and, you know, the pros, the cons, and, you know, if I could pick your brain for like 10 minutes.
Yeah, I love it. Let's do it.
This is like our life now. Like Johnny and I were saying, you know, obviously you guys hang out every single day, but I'm like, dude, this is so weird that not too long ago we were sitting on top of a bar doing shots and saying that we're never going to be those people that settle down at 9 p.m. But then I'm like, if I don't go to bed before 9 p.m., I'm cranky. Things are different.
I think that directly feeds to the meme I sent you a couple days ago.
Yeah.
I mean, and the funny part is that had nothing to do with kids. Like, I was like solo, right? He's
Correct.
He's doing his thing, and like he just turns 35 and is toast with no kids.
Yep.
So
We're gonna go ahead and clip it real quick. Boom. It goes up right there. Yeah, dude, it's crazy. And for you, how many of these things you got running around now? What do you got? Like, how many you got? You just got the 2? You got any more you working on?
2 I know of. No. We're done. Factory's closed.
You
two
done?
is a limit. Yeah, we're done. Two is the end all be all. 2 under 2 has been aggressive and fun and challenging and all the things. But yeah, it's absolutely the end for us from.
But are you she getting burned? What's going on? You just gonna let it ride and wear condoms the rest of your life? How we doing?
No, we're not doing that for sure. It's definitely not. That's definitely not an option. I will probably eventually go see a man about a procedure. All right.
Oh, Betsy.
So yeah, it's at the end of the day, it's like for her to do anything, it's probably a little more risky, right? So there's a few options that could be potential, pregnancy prevention methods, but the easiest way to do it, when you just go take care of.
Least you could do is get a little get a little tube snipped on your testes.
Hey man, I know where you're going with this, and I agree with you 100%. Like, she did the hard work, right? But at the end of the day, there's still a little like, hey man, getting the old snipperooskies, it's controversial for men. Like, it's a little off-putting, but that's the right thing to do. So no big deal. You're in and out. Don't be a pussy. Just get it done. So it's probably the route we're gonna go. So.
Yeah. Well, good for you, man. Well, I'm super happy. Everyone's healthy. Everyone's happy. Lens is good.
Yeah.
Babies are good.
Yeah, it's been good, man. It's crazy because they're not, neither one of them are even 2 years old yet, and we've already had 1 surgery, 3 specialist appointments, and 4,000 doctor visits. And it's like, is this what we're doing? Like, this is how this is gonna go? They're not even playing sports yet for like real injuries to take place. So I'm gearing myself up for a long road of like multiple visits per week per child. So, but everyone's great. Lindsay's good. Both kids are good. Obviously, I would ask you the same question, but I see your little beauty queen and your wife all the time via social media, and they look great and healthy and happy. So, I'm assuming all is well there.
Yeah, no, we post the good stuff, and then we're really miserable, but got to do it for the gram.
That's what most people do, right?
Yeah. No, things are great, man. Thanks. Yeah, it's all good. She's now that Brenda's, what I think it was like we're at week 10 now, but like week like 6, she started like really kind of walking around more, feeling comfortable. We're going out. She, Cammie got her 2-month shot, so we're feeling a little cozy around grandparents and stuff now. So, yeah, now we're in a great spot. I mean, we took her actually to the aquarium. I just got back a couple hours ago, actually, so we were out there all day, and that was just, dude, to see. We took her to the zoo last weekend, and then we now have this new obsession of, like, I'm sure seeing their eyes when they see the first thing. Like, she saw her first elephant last week, and even though she doesn't comprehend it, like, it's going to be better when she's 1, obviously, but just to see her eyes get so big when she saw, like, the fish and the jellyfish today, and the sharks, I was in my natural habitat. It was beautiful, man. It was so, goddamn, it was just so perfect, dude. Ugh.
I got good news for you, man. You get to live it a couple times because when Miller was first born and she's in the same, she was in the same age as your daughter, like you see what you just described, but then when they turn 1, 1.5, 2, they then understand like what they're looking at, and they can talk to you about it and explain how they feel about whatever they're looking at. Ugh. And you get to relive it. So good news for you. You get the exciting experience you had at the zoo with a 3-month-old. You get to do it again a couple more times.
Amazing.
That's fun.
Yeah, dude, we can't.
How old is she now? 3 months or?
She'll be, what is she, 10 weeks now? So 11 weeks on Monday. Yeah, so almost 3
All right,
months.
so close. Almost 3 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
dude, it's kind of a wild thing. And you know, I don't know if I think we've talked about this before, but I didn't really feel. I mean, obviously, it's interesting how we hit these milestones like you're talking about, but I find it more fascinating that every day I feel more and more like a father. You know, like we talked about this before, like those 9 months that they're carrying the baby. Obviously, they have a beautiful connection, as they should, deservingly so. I felt like a father the first time she grabbed my finger at the hospital. You know, when they put her in the incubator, that was like a teary moment for me. And then when she finally smiled, like at week, I don't know, 3 or 4, when she heard my voice, even though maybe she smiled just because she heard sounds. But to me, like when I said good morning, and then she did that big first smile, it was like, oh, like every week I'm hitting these like little, oh, fuck, this is crazy. This is unbelievable. Like these, you know, unbelievable, like I'm a dad moment type of thing that I never thought I would care about until they happen.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, could you even? I already know this answer, but
Yeah, you probably do. That's fine.
could you imagine a time that a future Tony and Shane popped in from the future into that balcony in our apartment in downtown Orlando and was like, "Hey, jabronis, in a few years, you're going to love having a kid and you're going to go to bed before 10 p.m. We'd put down our cigarettes and we would beat the shit out of those guys. Would we not? Like, there's no way.
So there'd be 76 monsters in the fridge, 12 pounds of chicken breast, a carton of cigarettes,
Yeah.
and 86 Miller Lights, and they're inside telling us that that's not possible and there's no way. So yeah, and here we are. Yeah.
Insane, dude. And it wasn't that
Good
long
stuff.
ago. 10 years?
It really wasn't.
You know?
Has it been long? Shit, it's been 10 years?
I mean, I've been with Brenda for 8.
How?
Isn't that stupid?
Yeah.
I know. I don't believe it either. That's almost
What year did you buy the first joint in Castleberry?
It must have been, it was that year because I was barely dating Brenda when I bought it. So 8 years.
All right.
So it might have been, yeah, because I think I was with my dad for a bit, right? Just to stack us some dough. So it might have been
So 95 or?
Yeah, 9 years ago, I think, is when we were out there. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Oof. Nuts. I can't. I wish I had like some video clips to like throw this in the podcast and be like, this was 9 years ago. This was us. I have photos.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't wish that upon anybody.
No, I deleted them all. They are not in the archives. I called Google and I was like, remove these from existence because it is embarrassing.
They're still in my mind.
Yeah.
So that counts, right?
Yes. Good times.
I love it.
Yeah, dude, it is a very special thing. And yeah, I'm very excited. I don't know if I could do 2. I know Brenda wants 2. But one's been tough. I mean, sleep is finally starting to be normal where she's actually sleeping through the night, which is very fun. I mean, she wakes up at 5, which is perfect because that's when I get up anyway. But she'll go to bed like at 10 and Camille will sleep all night until 5. So
yeah,
we're lucky.
That's certainly a game changer for your mental health. Like when they hit that mode where they'll do 6, 7, even 5 is fantastic.
Yeah, dude.
Consecutive hours of sleep, you just feel like, okay, I am now sane again. Going from the 2 to 3 every 2 to 3 hour screaming, and even when you have 2 and the mornings are chaos, like,
yep, massive difference.
That is a big milestone for your happiness and also your sanity. But yeah, I mean, it's also a good sign for the health, right? So they're gaining weight, they're getting stronger, they're eating more, they're sleeping longer. It's all positive stuff. So, which is how it's supposed to work, right? At the end of the day, it's what you want.
Yeah.
So beautiful thing all around.
Yep.
Good stuff.
Yeah, dude. And how are you guys doing with sleep? Everything pretty good?
Yeah, we're good. You know, and I'm not sure how in depth I went with you on Miller's journey through her intolerances for food in her early stages, but it's been quite the opposite for Rory. He's, just as a quick example, last night he went 6 hours, and of course I snap awake at like 4 a.m. and go, oh my God, why is he crying? He's fine. He's actually sleeping now. He's almost double his birth weight in 6 weeks, which is awesome. So he's on the right path to being a massive human being that's going to eat me out of house and home, and can't wait for that. So we're excited for that. So now, we were able to get him on a program quicker than Word Miller. And obviously, the second one, you have a little bit of experience, so you understand what's causing the uncomfortableness and the discrepancies with what they should be eating, what they're not, the reflux, the stomach issues, and so on and so forth. So we were able to react faster, and fortunately, we're doing well. I mean, he's like I said, last night was 6 hours straight, and that's awesome. And again, and to your point, we try to go to bed before 9 p.m. so we don't die, but we end up being the 10:30, 11 p.m. crowd, and then he sleeps until 5, which is when I get anyway. So we're golden.
That's funny. That's good, man. It's good to hear.
She's going through the night now. You guys are good?
Yeah. Probably about a week ago, maybe she started like consistently. Yeah. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's been a blessing for sure. I mean, I know from like a lot of people I talk to, it'll be good for like a month, and then at 4 months she'll probably, whether it's a growth spurt or maybe she's dealing with something else, and it won't be like that forever. So we're trying to soak it up. But overall, I mean, she's one thing that she is getting from me for sure, which is unfortunate for everybody involved, is during the day, this girl does not want to sleep. Like, I don't take naps. We don't take naps, right? We work. We go hard all day. And that's what she does. She does not. When she gets up in the morning, she'll do like these little cat naps, like 10 minutes. But when she realizes that she's in the bassinet or in the crib, she's like, no, buddy. I want to do things. Come on. Where can we go? What can we do? Yeah. So.
Yeah. So you haven't had enough time yet to experience like stages of sleep and stages of growth spurts and like how their schedules change based on how they're developing. And you also haven't had to deal with teeth yet. So good luck to you, buddy. If you need some advice, let me know. There's a lot of preventative measures you can take to prevent tantrums and meltdowns and such for the eating phase. But what I'm telling you is it doesn't get better before it gets worse, but then it gets really good. So you'll be fine.
Yeah, no, I'm excited. I think in the next 18 years, right at 18 years, it will probably be when it's the best. Yeah, I'm soaking these up. I mean, I think everything we've done leading up to this has trained us for it, right? Like the hours the days that we would go of like only having 3-4 hours of sleep, you and I, when we were in our 20s, it's preparing us for these moments. Like the lack of sleep, I'm okay with. I might die when I'm 60, but for now, it is what it is. At least I'm not miserable completely because I am a morning person, thank God. Brenda, however, though, hates it. She can't stand it. Is Lindsay more like a morning person, or?
I don't know.
Are you gone
it's
before?
A little bit of both. Yes, I evacuate the house before that.
Yeah, smart man.
Now we both get up on the schedule every day.
Just in case, yeah. That's what we do.
It helps, right? So the kids are on a schedule, parents are on a schedule. It all works in harmony. If one of those pieces is not fitting into the puzzle, then there's turbulence and it creates problems. But for you, you're looking at that 18-year look, and by that point in time, you'll be in your 60s. So you should be on a downhill slope, and you should be good to go. So as soon as you can get through the first 18 years of her life and turn 65 on her 18th birthday, you'll be fine.
Hey-o. Can't wait. It's going to be great. Well, listen, man, I want to talk to you more in person, but this was cool. And I am actually coming to Orlando next week.
Are you?
I am. I got a client out there that I'm working Monday through Friday. I'm going to be staying in Lake Mary.
Okay.
I don't know exactly my schedule. I think I'm probably going to wrap up around 6. I might not have time to hang. I want to try to make some time, so I'll keep you posted on the daily.
Cool, brother.
Cool, man.
Appreciate the call, man.
No, it was good, man. I can't wait to see you, buddy. I miss you.
I missed you too, brother. Tell
All
the
right.
wife, the daughter, all the best. Give them a smooch for me, a hug, and we'll talk soon.
All right, brother. Thanks, man. Same to you. Okay, there you have it. That's all I had time for was just 2 fathers. If you dig this, leave comments down in the description or, shoot me a DM. If you're listening to this on Spotify, there is a comment section where you can leave that, or you say you want to see more of this or you didn't like it. That's okay too. It's always good to meet with friends. And I do encourage you, just as a very simple reminder, if you don't call friends every now and again, which I'm pretty close with those guys, but I mean, I've known them for, decades. But if you don't call your close friends and just shoot the shit with them, I prefer FaceTime. But you got to do it, man. You got to call these friends of yours. Some of the best friends in the world that I have, I do not see every single week, but I'm on the phone with all the time just to check up with them, make sure their mental health is good, make sure my mental health is good. And sometimes getting those friends and close ones to actually, talk to you could help you relieve a little stress or, make your life a little better. So reach out to friends. But this was fun. Until next time, we will see you later. Peace.